Oh yeah! There's a Vel'Koz game we gotta watch. It tweeted at me. 2-0 week. Hope I made Azzapp proud of my Vel'Koz. So yeah, I retweeted this. Very, very cool. Nafkelah is a good player, good guy. So I was curious, like I was trying to find the link earlier, but I couldn't find the link. So I figured we can watch this together and see what exactly he did in competitive Vel'Koz. And I talk a lot about competitive Vel'Koz, and I make the argument that he's much better in competitive than solo queue. Like, well, basically for like 6 years in a row. But nobody seems to fucking listen. So we did a lot of reviews earlier, if you guys remember, from Nemesis Vel'Koz, like the chubby Vel'Koz. We did LS coaching on Vel'Koz, and this could be very interesting. So the cast is in French, which I understand, but you guys want.
C'est un détail, on a vu Dieu fait qu'un sur lui aussi. Donc ne t'en fais pas, tout va bien. Donc c'est bien le 7, mais il sera au niveau de la top lane dans les mains de Willens et au niveau du mid. Donc finalement c'est le très support et c'est le Vel'Koz qui est mid. Alors Vel'Koz face à Syndra, l'intérêt.
Vel'Koz qui est mid, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, it's 1.5 speed. We're gonna lower that actually. We're gonna lower the ADHD just for the YouTube quality, because I usually watch it stuff on... Okay, let's look at the comps first. Let's not listen to them anymore. Let's look at the comps, what we got. So, what Vel'Koz got going on here is pretty good, because we have a support with Vel'Koz, which is a good pairing, like you want an initiator with him. Camille's in a role initiators as well, and Jhin is a insanely good synergy. So you have 2 backliners with 3 engagers. And Thresh can also kind of play both sides. He can play like defense or offense because of the lantern. So what we have here is, again, what Vel'Koz is good at, shredding tanks. And Syndra matchup is solid. If you're too afraid of the jungle pairing, you will run Cleanse. If not, in competitive, I think the teleport is probably standard. You got Jinx Lulu, which is scaling, and that's just so weak against mid-game Spike Vel'Koz. Mid-game Spike Vel'Koz is going to crush their bot lane, because they're looking to scale. And you want to crush this game in mid-game, and their mid-game is really good. We got pretty good comp, honestly. This is the comp you would want Vel'Koz with initiators. And you know what's a good thing? I saw in the screenshot that he tweeted me at, in the screenshot he was running the Magic Pen setup, which is the most standard setup. In competitive, I would see like Linery's playing a bit more than in solo queue, because it can actually have super high value in competitive. But if you have a full AD comp like this, yeah, that's a good playstyle. And as we talk about the differences in solo queue, to competitive, you would be running Inspiration secondary, I imagine, with some scaling. Is this match recent? This was yesterday's match. 18th of January. This was yesterday's match, so we're catching it very, very early. They're both 1-0 this week. And yeah. Can we get the runes of Vel'Koz? We got the... Okay, so look at this. You got the Corrupting Virgin and Chad Doran Ring Enjoyer. Classic. Nafkelah, my man, watching the stream. Beautiful. He's not going for that bullshit trading and just unplayable against boring scenario. Which makes his lane harder. Like, he trolled himself, essentially. Like, in competitive, it'd actually be okay. It would be okay if you ran, like, you could run Time Warp Tonic with the Cosmic, the boots. You get the boots in Inspiration and Time Warp Tonic, and then you just survive. Because I'm guessing he's disrespecting his enemy mid laner a little bit here. Because this is extremely cocky. If you play versus Faker Syndra or any like player of that caliber Syndra, they're gonna tear you a new one here. Because they're gonna contest you on every single minion. And I don't know how the fuck he pulls off this matchup. Because this is very difficult. A good Syndra will destroy you here. You have to play like a lot better just to survive a little bit, you know? This is literally from yesterday, guys. So yeah, he's trying to grab that minion with a Q, because he knows, like, okay, he's really got the jukes on. I don't know what ping they're playing on, but he's moving pretty well. He's trying to mask his auto attacks all the time and using the Q to kind of pry her away from the wave so he can get farm. And we'll see Vel'Koz losing in farm here early game. Like, he should be losing, especially with this, like, greedy start. But he's got teleport kind of to compensate for that. He's very weak to ganks as well, but he won't really be pushing this matchup very often, so... That's also one of the weaknesses of Vel'Koz, which is why a lot of people don't play. When I talk to Veteran and a lot of other coaches, that they're mostly issues with prio, because if you're playing versus a lot of these contesting characters, you can't really hold prio, because you don't have the freedom, you don't have the liberty to rotate. Which is what the Ghost solo queue playstyle fixes, but you can't really play that in competitive. Well, maybe you could. Haven't tested it, you know? It's kind of weird. But yeah. So you get a huge top lane crash. In competitive, you also see a lot of the games like tending towards neutral. You don't really see too much crazy 1v1 attempts. So Syndra just tries to like shove in and then TP reset. You know, instead of like bullying and extending this. So she tries to hold this wave, and now Vel'Koz can't really come back because of that teleport into like a semi-cheater. What are the benefits of daring over corrupting? Better damage, slightly better like in like team fight, but you lose that lane sustainability, obviously. I mean, you scale better with that, but corrupting is the norm for a reason, because it enables you to play lane recklessly and you can do whatever you want. And in this matchup, you would pretty much have to play corrupting on Vel'Koz just to survive the lane and try to have equal farm. But Nafkelah doesn't seem to need it. He's playing very well here, holding really good CS, and he hasn't used TP, which is a bit of a sad thing now because Syndra froze after the teleport. He's teleport up. Syndra kind of froze, so he requires jungler to be near. You can notice the positioning of Xin. Xin came here because they were expecting a Vel'Koz collapse. Vel'Koz doesn't have cleanse, so they can easily collapse on him here with a Trundle. And they can even go for a kill potentially, not only a summoner force. So yeah, Xin was hovering here so Vel'Koz can shove in freely. And this is something, again, that's lacking in solo queue, so you can kind of compensate for that. But the issue is now they can gank top. They can use that advantage 2v1 top side. But they predicted, I guess. Camille's paying attention. We see good trading. Bam, 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 bam. Parfait, génial. Okay, he got the fourth shot. 2 for 1 for the JL. Vel'Koz gets a reset now. Finally, off with that bounce, he gets a TP. Good recall. He bought Dark Seal. What a fucking lunatic. Okay, dude, he's playing solo queue. Dude, he's been... Yo, Nafkelah, if you're gonna play competitive, don't play my fucking solo queue builds. Dude, he's such a Chad. He actually recalled, he recalled with about like, what, 800, 900, picks up Corrupting, Amp Tome, and he gets a little bit of sustain there, which is... Yeah, again, competitive norms are refillable instead of potions, especially because you have TP and a lot of trading. What a fucking maniac. He actually picks up Dark Seal. Like, Dark Seal in solo queue is fine because the games are random and you want to trust yourself. But in competitive, again, you're not going to be involved that much. You're not going to get those stacks. And, well, yeah, you're just delaying your own lost chapter, delaying your Luden spike. You're delaying all of these spikes, which can turn the entire fight on a dragon, let's say. So it's extremely greedy. He has done 2 greedy things so far. Like, he's going against quality of life here. Like, he's trying to make his lane more difficult. Like, with every decision. Oh, I'm curious. I need to see some Vel'Koz plays, man. I'm curious what he does. I wish the camera would focus a bit more so we can see exact maneuvers. Because watching every Vel'Koz player is so unique. Because they all have their unique style. How they line up the abilities, how they play, like, do they use more zoning, more predicting, you know? It's very, very cool. So yeah, the très bien positionné le blue team. Yeah. We saw that. Cool. Okay, so Vel'Koz did shove-ins and did the semi-rotation to bottom side, just in case. Because there's a wave crash coming, he goes back to catch the wave. Okay, solo dragon being attempted. They have a good read on the jungle, I guess. Now Syndra is level 6, so they can really turn on the heat. They bounce and they run top lane, the mirror play, so Camille's gonna get dove. Competitive Camille knows she doesn't stay to get run over. She backs off. They're just gonna play the classic diagonal game and just weak side, strong side, you know? Camille gives up 2 waves, which is unheard of in solo queue. Hey Karaz, what's up, man? Okay, our boy Vel'Koz goes here. Gets the blue. No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to betray his positioning. He's trying to be sneaky, actually. He doesn't even click the blue. That's actually very clever. Very, very clever. Now they're going to try to jump over and play that strong side. And they should be a successful dive given how weak they are. QR! He did a QR! The angles! I like it. Yeah, that's a perfect QR because they always hug the turrets. Yeah, when you attack from 2 sides, they gotta hug the turrets. That was a really good... How did they fuck the dive up, though? That was a great QR. That was a great QR, man. How did they fuck that up? Man, I can't seem to find the exact moment. Can I just go back like 15 seconds? There you go. Okay. Wait, Zin took aggro instead of Thresh? Oh, yikes. Wait, no, did he? What is happening? Wait, what? Why is this... This is so messy. It's like taking so long to process. I don't know why they even rushed it. They didn't even need to lantern in here. Like, they have all the time in the world to set this up. Vel'Koz does a phenomenal QR. So they just shred Zin while Thresh is tanking. They do tanking very well, but they just shred Zin. And then Zin goes here left into Lulu instead of going right out of the turret. Yeah, very, very random stuff. But 2 Dark Seal stacks, I mean, let's fucking go. We got 2 Dark Seal stacks on Vel'Koz. They kind of botched the strong side, wasn't super clean. Like, this is considered as a win for blue team in competitive, because you should never trade 4v2 dive, especially versus weak early laners. But the QR was very good, so Vel'Koz did that well. The rest we don't care about. A bit of a mismanagement on the dive with the Thresh Zen setup. Okay, we got that lost chapter. That's a good spike. He's not buying boots, so I'm assuming I was right earlier. He went the boots into inspiration, because he should be playing inspiration in competitive. It is by far the best you can do on the side runes. Oh, here we go. We got a replay. So yeah, he does take the... I don't know. Zin walks into chompers and gets shit on. He takes so much damage. Like, Vel'Koz did this perfect, because he didn't have too much mana, and he got the maximum value out of that mana with a very nice wall QR. Okay. A bit rough now. They're falling behind. But yeah, once they hit that mid game with Vel'Koz 1 to 2 item spike, it should get insane. Their team fight should be ridiculous. And yeah, like, Jinx getting a little bit of gold doesn't mean too much in the mid game. Late game is gonna be rough, but... Okay, so far GL having like really good advantage. 69 farm, nice. Oh, I'm curious, what else? They're playing again to deny the bot lane. They're very low on plates. They only got 1 plate in the mid lane, which I don't even know if they collected the money for. So they're definitely losing in terms of pressure. They're countering bottom side now with a Trundle. But now there's no very obvious like weak side, strong side, so they have to be more hesitant about the play. So now it's just shadowy games. People shoving and going in the shadows, figuring out like where they can strike and create advantage. Like trying to get the read on enemies. It's just poker right now. Like how strong they are on which side. Like really good. Yo, Shepherd Q. Nah, he got a fucking Shepherd Q combo. Okay, we're watching that again. He got a bit of a delayed Shepherd Q, but it is a Shepherd Q. Preemptive, because he predicted her dash towards the wave. It's a bit delayed, Shepherd Q. You could have done it earlier. Oh, what a fucking legend. Okay. Very good. That was very, very good. That's advantage out of nowhere now. It's very cool. Now he's gonna stay to shove in 1 more wave and then he's gonna recall. It's gonna offset the mid lane a little bit, but no flash. That's pretty good because they have pretty good initiations. Nafkelah is a classical mage player. Like he plays a lot of mages. He's really good at it, by the way. So yeah, there you go. We get the shove, we get the reset, we get a bit of an offset between mid laners, but yeah, he's gonna have proper dragon setup. So let's see. He gets the blasting one, so he is going for the Ludens setup. And no boots yet. Again, the boots should be, what, 11:15? He should get them in 45 seconds if he's running boots on the inspiration. So yeah, we'll see about that. Hey Lit man, what's up? They're really targeting this Camille, which is a correct play, honestly. They don't want to play bottom side with this Trundle setup. Camille's very difficult to kill, but they're doing their best to shut her down. They even have Herald. They're probably gonna dump Herald mid lane and try to play the dragon. Okay, 5 seconds until boots for Vel'Koz, right? Pretty sure that's when we get him. There we go. Magical footwear kicks in. Both Camille and Vel'Koz. Cool. So yeah, I don't know what else he took. He didn't take the dematerializer. He didn't take the shop. Could be Cosmic Insight or the extra movement speed on the Time Warp Tonic, but he wasn't really starting corrupting, so I wouldn't really take that. Did he use cookies? I don't think he used cookies. I'm not sure actually. Don't think he used cookies. Don't remember seeing him. Maybe he did. Cookies are pretty pretty much norm in competitive. I don't remember seeing them though. Yeah, he goes against the norm. He doesn't give a fuck about Time Warp Tonic or cookies. Probably went Cosmic Insight then. He's a Chad. Okay. So, the dragon attempt. Will they give it up? They probably will. Just to give Camille some breathing space because she has no TP. Total gold. Vel'Koz is second. It's pretty sick. Good farm. We got a kill bot side. Le Trundle. There we go. We got the Ludens. That's a sick spike. And once he finishes the boots. Because this is the mid-game spike. This is the thing. If you have a full AD comp, they will not build any MR. As you can see, there's literally 0 extra MR in this comp. So, this is why the Vel'Koz mid-game spikes so fucking hard. As soon as he gets this, he gets 6, no, he gets 11, right? No, he gets 6 Magic Pen. And once he finishes the boots, he gets extra 18 as well. And that's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous in terms of, like, he will be dealing nearly true damage with all of his abilities. So he's just gonna pop off with that. And that's the mid-game you want to fight with. And if you're running this, and seeing that they build no MR, you want to rush Shadow Flame after. Because once you get Shadow Flame completed, that's another 5, plus the Shadow Flame 10 to 20. So that makes it 29, plus the 10, which is 39 or 49 Magic Pen. So you're basically true damage. It's basically true damage to everyone at that point. So yeah, that's ridiculous. His farm is pretty solid given that he went with a super cocky playstyle. He's chilling. Get the boots. Boots is a good thing. Or blue, not boots. Blue is pretty sick now. And it's time to get the barrage. Now his Q is really, really strong. And we should see a lot of poke. There you go. We should see him just spamming. Because he's unbound. He can wave clear with double W very easily. And he can spam Qs to poke all the time. Well, let's see. Is the stream good? Is it lagging? I'm seeing some fluctuations in the bitrate. So yeah, the game stabilized. There's no clear-cut goal where to go. The red side team has 2 dragons, which means the third one obviously they wanna force, and is the Hextech dragon. Okay, very disappointing game from Syndra. She failed to abuse Vel'Koz at all. Like she did nothing to ruin his lane at all. Okay, they get the bot turret. There's a Syndra TP. Will it be matched? It's too late. There's no reason to match that. They should just play the opposite side. Camille tries to buy time and run away. So, decent TP by Syndra. She gets a kill. What we're watching a Vel'Koz in pro play. It got drafted yesterday in French League by a friend called Nafkelah. So yeah, so far pretty good. Look at that Q. And that's the weak bot lane. That's the weak bot lane compared to the insanely strong mid laner in mid game. Vel'Koz level 11 versus bot lane right now is just, he can crush him. He can go 1v2 and crush their bot lane. And that was a very, very greedy Herald by JL. Okay, that's a huge misplay on the macro scale. So, if you see what happened here, they got a good teleport top lane. They picked up a kill on Camille. So they kill Camille, they get a kill on Syndra. And what they do after is they stick around to do Herald, which is so greedy because they're leaving bot lane to defend 2v4. Which is, they're creating another weak side, strong side moment where they don't have to. They literally made a play and they could reinforce this mid lane and defend it very well. But they don't, because they're 5v4 mid lane. They can just threaten. Camille has no TP. They threaten this, and the red side team has to back off. But this is a mistake, thinking these two can defend, when you have something insanely long range to initiate like Vel'Koz. So yeah, he gets a nice setup there. Thresh goes in for the hook. And yeah, now they just fall apart. Now they actually lose more than they got. Because they lose mid-third, which is the most important third in the game. And they trade a kill. While they got Herald and a kill. And this is like a Herald post 14 minutes, which is less value than a third, I would argue. Unless you use it phenomenally. So yeah, now Vel'Koz should get boots immediately to get that and try to rush the Shadow Flame. And this is when the spike begins. He was doing a shit ton of damage. But now it's gonna get even worse. There we go. It's gonna get even worse for the enemies. Oh my god, you got the large rod into boots. Large rod boots. He missed the cannon. He learned from the best. Yeah, he's very close to Shadow Flame. Very close to Shadow Flame. Once the Shadow Flame hits, all the red side team has to do is just protect Vel'Koz. He's just gonna be this like orbital cannon, destroying everything. There's that Herald going mid lane, and the value of the Herald is not insane. Not super worth getting it by giving up mid lane third. That was I mean that's a job for their coach, I guess, to assess and tell them like, oh, you guys shouldn't have gone for that. And but yeah, they have their staffing and shit to figure that out. But that was a mistake by the blue team. GNFK farming? What else is he gonna do? He's a support character. He's just being a backup to the initiation. They're all waiting for Dragon. Dragon mid-game fights for Vel'Koz are just the bread and butter. And it's super good that they got the first two, because now they've applied so much threat on the Dragons 3 and 4. And enemies are going to be forced to contest, if not this one, the next one. And that's when you have Shadow Flame. And that should be insane advantage to the red side team. So he should be crushing that. Okay, here's a recall. That's going to be the alternator, I think. Don't think he collected enough. Oh yeah, this is the new... Okay, I'm kind of confused. This is the new alternator, right? You build it with the ruby crystal. Because there's nothing else you can build with the larger than ruby crystal. New alternator is like 1 amp tome ruby crystal, I believe. So yeah, I think so. So it should be Shadow Flame. There you go. Very, very timely recalls, resets. And look at the Vel'Koz. The Vel'Koz doing those blind angles. Like, seemingly doing nothing but pushing pushing them behind. Which is why he's so strong in these Dragon team fights, this mid-game team fights. When enemies can't just go blind, can't go just tank him and run up to him. They're doing the Hextech gate shenanigans here. Okay. I don't like that he focused Set there, but it works. Vel'Koz's job there is to pretty much zone, because Set can't win that alone. Vel'Koz didn't even use ult. Here's ideally like blue team played this very, very sloppy. No, Set Brain Gilbert, this is cool. Like, they have no entry to river. They literally have no entry to river. So what blue side team wants to do is they want to initiate with that flank. Now this is a very obvious flank because everyone can see it going, and they can kind of predict it's going to be Set. What they want to do is, if they back off, they give them footing, and it's kind of 50-50 in the river. And that's also fine. They can all back off. But because it kind of catches Camille and Xin out of position, they have to focus Set. So when they focus Set here, they should try to kill him, because the blue team is very late. Blue team, look at the blue team. They weren't ready for that play. So I don't know who called that, but they were not ready for it. They have to be a lot closer. And even if they are a lot closer, Vel'Koz should pry that apart. The positioning of Vel'Koz here is all right. I would prefer it to be like here, because then you can grab this angle. You can grab this angle. If the blue side team comes here, closer, you can do a QR from insanely long range. And Set will be left for dead. 1v4 on this side, and you just zone the rest. Like QR. You ult, you don't care. Like, you literally don't care. You can, like, do double hit Qs into ult just to get him away, because you care about the dragon. Vel'Koz kind of focuses Set here, which I'm assuming is like a call from the team, like, yo, kill him, burst him, burst him. Ideally they want to dump everything on Set, because if their enemy team follows up fast, they can kind of crush you if Set gets his ult and W off. But yeah, that just gets a free Drake. Oh no. There you go. L'équipe rouge a tous les dragons. So yeah, the red team is slaying the dragon, guys. If you guys don't know. If you do not parler français. Okay, so that... He got an assist. He's now just farming. He's gonna get blue buff. Thresh gets caught during the ebb and flow. He should not be face checking top side at all. Good Spanish. Gracias. Wait, what was that? Was he trying to QR Why are you zooming that, dude? I don't care. I'm missing the Vel'Koz QR. Did he QR? Yeah. He did a QR, ambitious QR. Jhin misses the W. She can Gale Force. Was he predicting Gale Force there? Potentially could be. It's just an alright thing to equalize the game though, because you want to disallow them to push this. Because your Thresh just died on the ebb and flow for no reason, because ebb and flow is a concept in game where even if you get a good play, like let's say you get the dragon, but you have, like, the tide comes, you gotta go out, get the dragon, then you have to recover. Because you can't really just go from dragon to the other side and control that side as well. There's this inherent ebb and flow in the game. You kill the enemies, then you go back, recall. And while you're doing that recall, the enemies have a chance to push in. So every time you get like an insane play, you can't, it's really not that good to tie it up with more back-to-back plays. That's the core solo queue mistake. The original sin of solo queue. So yeah, Thresh kind of face check there for no reason. There's no threat, there's no Baron, there's nothing for them to lose. He was just walking around randomly. So yeah, that's the fight that we saw. Okay, let's see what else we got. Vel'Koz is about to finish Shadow Flame, and as you can tell, in the enemy team, there is no MR yet purchased. And this is just, if you're a Vel'Koz, you're just looking at the enemy comp here and looking, oh, there's 0 MR. There's 0 MR. This is so good. I'm just gonna fuck them up. So as soon as you get Shadow Flame, this is gonna be crushing. Okay, extraction. Now the Baron is in place, so you want to be mindful. It's very difficult to start a Baron versus Vel'Koz, but the recalls have to be very careful if you don't have TP. So yeah, Thresh was doing a greedy recall. Yeah, that's the play. Greedy recall in the river. No reason again. 200 CS at 20 minutes, pretty good. Competitive style, that's a flash. Okay, what else we got? Camille with a sneak TP. So-ass TP out of there, very nice. Vel'Koz pressures mid, and now he's gonna... they probably want to recall because they're loaded with money. If they want to make plays, they're gonna rotate left side there and try to siege top. But yeah, he has shit ton of money, so he wants to recall. It's gonna be Shadow Flame, it has to be. There it is. Pink Ward. Probably has money for Pink Ward, there you go. What a legend, dude. He's doing pretty much everything right. So you got the Shadow Flame, and this is where you want to fight. And the next dragon is in 2 minutes, and that's what you want to do. Like, you crush that. If Vel'Koz doesn't get blown up before the start of the fight, they should be hard winning that. He just has to keep positioning, avoid like in stuns or set flanks, that's it. The only way he dies here is Camille QE and he gets chained to death, or set flank and then he gets ulted in. That's basically the only 2 ways Vel'Koz will ever die here, so that's all he has to take care about. If he can keep track of the positionings, he's solid. They control the river again on time. Pink Ward's doing work. He's attempting the Qs. Like, these are very low chance Qs, and versus really good players, but it applies pressure and pushes them deeper. That allows you to enter their jungle. Okay, no one is matching this set. Are they just saying like we don't care about the turret? They're trying to brute force the bottom side. While set is stealing a red. Okay. Double TP, very ridiculous positioning here. Holy, that was a greedy ult. That was a really greedy ult by Nafkelah, but it works. He got out. It cost him summoners, but he killed Set again. That was such a difficult scenario. Holy shit. He actually went for that. Like, if he gets, like, flash ulted by Set here, it's fucked. He continues ulting Jinx, which has all summoners and Gale Force. Like, that's really never gonna kill. And then he's forced to, like, Set flashes, and then he has to flash. I don't know if Set could have ulted that, honestly. That was a very greedy by Vel'Koz. I wouldn't have gone for that play, no way. That was too aggressive. Because this team lives and dies with him. His flash is the most valuable thing in the entire game right now. If he gets caught there, it's fucked. Luckily, blue team is not very synchronized. Really good Q. On Trundle, that ensures the dragon. They can't contest ever. Yeah, look at that, look at that. He's just catching these angles. Catching these, like, tri-brush angles and just zoning everything. He doesn't give a fuck. Look at that. Boom! That's how you do it. Like, you don't want to kind of flip it in a very aggressive scenario where they can engage you. If you just continue doing this, they can't do shit. And he does basically true damage with that Q to Jinx there. Yeah, that's the pure true damage. He doesn't even need to proc true damage to do true damage. Vel'Koz nerf incoming? Never. He bought a stopwatch, which is again the competitive thing. Especially now that he doesn't have flash, it's very, very useful. You have to get that. Funnily enough, like, the red team is still behind in gold. They're behind in gold, but their team comp is solid. They're playing dragons. They got the Hextech Soul, which makes them way more efficient in fighting. And now Vel'Koz queues with Hextech Soul. I just want to see him land one. This is fine as long as they don't engage on Vel'Koz. He can pry them away and zone off. There you go. He lands the Q. Vel'Koz is one of the best kiting champions in the game. Like, he's really good at stopping enemies. Like, continue game with the Jinx excited reset. And again, Baron versus Vel'Koz, he has ult. Like, if he has vision to go in, this is solid for them. They can contest this. It's gonna be difficult to walk in, but with the good Qs, he can buy himself passage eventually. Okay. Really good Q. He went for DR, nice. Trying to eliminate the jungler. Now they have a 50-50, and enemies will have to back off because they don't want to flip the game here. They're trying to end it with the Jhin. Yeah. There you go. So 3v5 contested. Even though they got caught, they still contested. Specifically because Vel'Koz can pull that shit off. And Camille just gets bottom side. That's huge for red side team. They actually ended up being better in this play when they got caught. So yeah, conversion to Baron versus Vel'Koz is extremely difficult. You have to have a way of like denying him entry. Like completely. Okay. 2 pinks now. He's not really gonna buy anything at the moment. Now either you want to finish Zhonya's or go decap, depending on how you can position. And if you don't use stopwatch, you probably just rush decap. It's possible to do more damage than the numbers on your spell show, so true damage plus X? No. True damage is unalterable. It's always the same. There's a Trundle engage again. They have a really good kite. It forces a flash. Now they're gonna be playing Camille's side lane forever because she's scaled. They play this like they play on the ropes, just trying to like dodge and shoot super long range of Vel'Koz. And again, everything relies on him. This is a perfect scenario for Vel'Koz because he's the carry. It's like completely opposite of solo queue. Vel'Koz is the carry. Everyone relies on him, and everyone plays around him. And that's the beautiful way to play him. He's just super strong, and eventually Jhin will do quite a lot of damage here. Tell this to my gold teammate. Yeah, you can't tell this even in like high competitive. Is this French Academy? Yeah. This is the French league and Vel'Koz was drafted yesterday, so we're just checking it out. Actually, surprisingly good gameplay. It's better than what we've seen on like Nemesis Vel'Koz, I would argue. But yeah, Nafkelah is predominantly a mage player, so he's really good as mage gameplay. That's pretty good. He's gonna WQ now combo. There you go. Again, you have kite. You have kite with Vel'Koz. Look at that. Look at that Q landing. Oh my god. Just pay attention to Vel'Koz positioning. He's always that like edge player. Always the edge player. And as long as they can't reach him, it's kind of pointless for enemies to chase. And that's what he provides to this comp. And this is why he's actually very valuable in competitive, as opposed to solo queue, because people don't really care about it in solo queue, because people don't have, like, they're not in sync. Nemesis Vel'Koz was asked, he said he will never play it again. Wait, did he really say that? Yeah, we reviewed that game, it wasn't that great. Chubby Vel'Koz was super sick though. Okay, okay, Jin gameplay. Yeah, that's pretty Baron. That should be game with the Baron, honestly. Like, they just dominated the team fights. With Baron, they should buy themselves passage to Elder. With Elder, Vel'Koz just 1v5s the entire game. Very good zoning. Again, like, this is how they won the game. They were behind. Like, even now, it's 46.9 thousand gold to 47. Okay? They're barely ahead by 100. The difference is negligible. Why they won is because they played these mid-game team fights. They understood their comp and they knew what they were playing for. So they just played around Vel'Koz. He brought them basically a lot of this. They play for Vel'Koz in these team fights, and he, like, look how efficient he is if you don't immediately flip the fight. If you play the dance, the river dance, and you let him zone properly, land 1 Q, land 2 Qs, figure out where they are, because he's really good at vision gaining actually with his Qs over the walls. Like, he can do so much. Oh, he's running the bank. Future market, yeah. He's running future market. Which is, yeah, again, very cocky to not go biscuits. So he's going like maximum gold efficiency, getting the future market with the boots. He bought Larget. My god, this man is cocky. I love it. He went for the Larget for the biggest spike and potential death cap rush. El Sombrero Mortfero de Rabadon. They're doing the same exact set play. They're not ready for it. And yeah, blue team's not even close. They haven't really prepared Insane Siege with the Baron buff, so they can actually play the sides. But look what he does in the river. They just need to land like 1 or 2 Vel'Koz Qs. Okay, the flank works though, they don't even need it. The flank worked, blue team has pathetic vision here, so they just get demolished. Vel'Koz should be ulting this. He should have been here ulting that, like way earlier. They got decent positioning there for the ult. Look at the situation here. Okay, I don't know why. Like, they killed this. Look. They killed this. And look at Vel'Koz's positioning here. He should not be the primary guy trying to fight the Elder. He never is. He's never the objective getter. He's the objective defender. So Vel'Koz's positioning should immediately go like this. He should be going like towards here. So he can do, again, catch this angle. You can catch this angle. You can do the QR here. You can do whatever. But he stays here. Very, very deep up. Tanking the dragon for no reason. And then to re-engage, he goes back into the fucking... Look at that. He's on the complete opposite end. Like, Vel'Koz should be here, behind Thresh, doing a QR. And it's hard winning. And then he has to go back into the pit, which is warded, and makes his combo a lot less efficient, because you whiff it. So a little bit of team fighting, positioning, mismanagement. Other than that, really good gameplay so far. So yeah, this fight should have been a complete stomp. Oh my god. Turn him into paste. Turn him into organic matter, dude. With that fucking Q. Just melts them. Pure true damage to everyone. That's the TP. Okay, fair enough. If they get Elder, it's just game over, and they should now with a Jin. There we go. Elder, do we have Sombrero? No, we don't. He sold Dark Seal to... Okay. He didn't do a cookie maneuver here. He sells Dark Seal for another large wood. But that's something you do. Like you should kind of do this in competitive again. Like not to throw it. Because you can get movement speed on boots and you still have stopwatch, you still have flash. But if things go bad, then you kind of fuck up your entire build. And you're very late for death cap. In case you fuck it up this way, you just buy death cap and you're insanely strong. So he didn't do a cookie maneuver there. Okay, so now they don't need to wait for anything. There's no preparation, there's no siege, there's no waves. They don't care about the Baron side. They even have all turrets up actually in top side. They want to utilize the Elder window, and with Vel'Koz they can just punish them. They can punish them insanely. He can attempt a QR here like in a second. Is that a good third item? Yes, it's the norm actually. They should be able to penetrate this eventually. Like with the Elder, enemies are desperately trying to poke. With the Elder, this should be very, very doable. He just needs to find like one Q. One Vel'Koz Q wins this. Good 3-man stun, but Vel'Koz didn't get hit. That's good. He's trying to avoid. He needs to catch angles. He needs to be very proactive here with his positioning. QR. There we go. Set came. Good stopwatch. Yeah. They're just looking at their way in, you know? Really good positioning here to get the Q. Is he going to flash aggressively? That is the question. Oh my god. It turned into a fucking flip. That should have been free, but the team went cocky and they went forward. They're not playing front to back here properly. They kind of lost the playstyle. Because now they just like play for Jhin Vel'Koz backline, honestly. Like, you don't care. Set engage, no one cared about that. They just kept diving. Oh my god. So yeah, that's what you're waiting for. Man, they should have ended the game there. They fucked it up. That was endable completely. I guess now they're gonna wait for decap, but the issue is he doesn't have the stopwatch anymore. And I think he has flash because he didn't flash forward, yeah. So we got El Sombrero Mortifero de Rabadon. Now they decided to... Wait, did the QR was good, I think. A bit cocky positioning, but I guess they had vision on the others. QR by Vel'Koz on that turret TP. Look at that. The QR missed though. He didn't do a perfect angle on Q. He didn't do a perfect angle on Q because Syndra's Zhonya's was late. She could have Zhonya's with this HP if he hit the Q actually. He wouldn't kill, I don't think, with the Q, but she could have Zhonya's with like 1 HP essentially. Now he just goes for that timing. There you go, perfect timing. Brilliant. 2 60-second timers. Should be enough to just brute force it down. Okay, 3 deaths, there you go. Perfect KDA 4-0-12. Really good gameplay. Really good and cocky gameplay by Vel'Koz. Very enjoyable to watch. There were like 2-3 positioning plays like that could have been like better. Other than that, he did his job right. Like the team played around Vel'Koz, he dominated the rivers, and even though they were behind in gold, they controlled the objectives. And eventually, that's how you win games, dude. That's what I keep trying to do in solo queue and educate teammates, but they don't give a fuck. They don't care, dude. They just keep running it down. And yeah, that's how you play the map. There you go, guys. That's the perfect example why Vel'Koz is heavily useful in a coordinated play. Heavily useful. But it insanely depends on the teammates. And the champion is so brilliant, man. GG Nafkelah. Good game. I hope we see more Vel'Koz, honestly. I love watching other Vel'Kozes play. I think the French league went crazy because French people love Vel'Koz. Like 2 of the most prominent Vel'Koz players are French. Like the old Sartoche and Robalas. So I'm guessing the audience really like that.